In the last video, we looked at certain operations on string. We looked at how to repeat strings, how we can replace certain characters or substring from a string, right? And how to check the membership of a string as well, right? In this video, we'll continue with looking at operations on strings. We'll look at functions like count function, how to find if something is at the start of the string or at the end of the string, how to convert a string into cases, uppercase, lowercase, or changing cases of strings, right? So let's quickly start. We'll start with the count function, or counting substring from a string, right? So for this purpose, we have a count function. What does count function do? It is basically used to count the number of occurrences of a string or substring or a character inside a main string or a string, right? It's count function. So the syntax is, let's say I have a string dot count, right? I'm applying this count function on my string, and inside I will look for the substring. So how many times this substring is present in the string, the count function will count that, the number of occurrences. Let's take some example. S1. Let's say we are learning Python. Full stop. Python is fun. Okay. Let's take this as an example, and let's print S1 dot count of, let's say we create another substring called S2, and this S2 is, let's say, Python. So we want to check how many times the substring Python is present in the string S1. So S1 dot count S2. Let's run this. We see the output to be 2. Why? Because Python is present 2 times in the string S1. Simple, straightforward, right? We can do like this as well. We can say, we can print it as a full sentence, right? Occurrences of S2 is S1 dot count of S2, right? If you see there is a wobbly line here, replace occurrences, is a typo in the word occurrences. If you click on that, you'll get the correct word right here. So PyCharm helps us to do that as well. It corrects typos. Now let me run this. Occurrences of Python is 2. So occurrences of Python in S1 is 2. Okay. Now instead of checking a substring or a part of a string, we can check characters as well. For example, E. E is also called as a substring or a string, right? A single character also is a string. Okay. So if you want to find how many times the letter E is present in the string S1, we can simply do the same thing. We replace S2 by E, and S1 dot count of E will give us the count of E. How many are there? 1, 2, 3. I think 3. Let's see. If we can't find it out by our naked eyes, programmatically, we can find it out. It's 3. It's 3. Great. Any other character for that matter also can be found. Let's say we want to find how many times learn is there. Is learn present in S1? What do you think? Yes, it is present, but it is learning, right? What do you think? Will it count learn here? Yes, it will, right? So remember that it will not count words, right? It can count any character combination in the same sequence, right? It is there one time, right? So let's say you want to find ing. So ing can be also found, right? HON, if you want to find HON, can be also found, right? In between also, if you want to find, it can find. Let's say you want to find how many spaces are there, right? Space, right? So 6 spaces. Occurrences of, okay, space can't be seen, right? So here you can replace it by space, right? Like this. Is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 spaces are there. Full stops if you want to find, so you can give a dot there, so it will find the occurrences of dot. So count function counts how many times a particular character or a substring is present in another string. All right, that's what count function is. Now, next operation or next function that we're going to look at is with related to cases in Python, cases of strings in Python. So let's say if you want to change case of a string, when I say case, uppercase, lowercase, and so on and so forth. So there are multiple functions such as upper, lower, right, title, capitalize. Okay, these are the few functions. We'll start with upper. So let's say we have a string called S1, and we have Python, and we'll say print S1 dot upper. So Python is in which case? It's a mix of upper and lowercase. The first character is in uppercase, and all of other characters are in lowercase. So if I do S1 dot upper, all the characters of S1 will be converted into uppercase. If you see P, Y, T, H, O, N, all of them are in uppercase now. Okay. Now, what if we have characters in it? Let's say Python 3.13. What happens now? Can we convert a digit into a uppercase? No, we can't. Right? We don't have uppercases or lowercases in numbers, right, or digits. So what will happen if I run this? Pause the video and think. Will it be an error? Will it give an output? If yes, what will be the output? Let's run this and see. It does not give an error, right? But it gives Python 3.13. Now, 3.13 is not alphabet, right? All these characters are not part of alphabets. So obviously they'll not have any upper or lower cases. So the non-alphabetic characters, if you use upper function, they'll remain the same. And the alphabetical characters will be converted into uppercase. Simple. and it will not give any errors. Okay. Similarly, if I want to print, if I want to use lower, for example, lower. Okay. So what lower function does? Lower function converts all the entire string into lowercase. So in this string, only P is capital and the rest of them are small letters. So everything will be converted into small letters or lowercase, which is Python 3.13. Now again, it will ignore the non-alphabetical characters. We don't have to worry about that. In this case, only P is converted into lowercase. Others are already lowercase. Right? Let's take another example. Let's say we are learning Python. In this case, s1.upper will change all the characters into uppercase, and s1.lowercase lower will convert all the characters into lowercases. See, straightforward, right? Then we have something called title. So let's see what title does. s1.title. Okay, so we'll run this and see the output, and then try to understand what title does. See what it has done. Can you guess? Can you understand what pattern it has followed? Right? All the first characters of all the words are converted into uppercase. See, we had W as capital and P as capital. Now, A of R has become capital and L of learning has become capital, which means all the first character of the words have become uppercase. That's what title does. Okay. Now let's see the next one. Capitalize. It's not capitalize, it is capitalize. Okay. Capitalize. If there's a typo there, if I run this, let's see the output. If you see, what has it done? Again, pause the video, observe it, and tell. If you look at it carefully, P of Python was capital, but now it is converted into small. But W is capital. What does it mean? Let's try to understand it better. If you have understood it, great. But let's try to understand it. Python is fun. Okay. Let me run this now. And if you see, the capitalized output, Python, again, this also was capital P. And if I change, let's say I change this as fun. Okay, like this. This is converted into lowercase. Now, what capitalize does is it only keeps the first letter of the entire string as capital letter, and all the other characters become lowercase. That's what capitalize does. So that's the minor difference between title and capitalize. People get confused here. Title basically does capitalize or make all the first letter of all the words as capital. All the first letter of the words as capital. That is title. Capitalizes only the first character of the entire string as capital, not all the words. Okay, nothing. If anything is capital as well, it will convert it into small. In that entire string, only the first character will be capital. Okay, so these are a few examples of working with or changing cases of a string: lower, upper, capitalize, and title. All right. Then we'll see a couple of more functions. One is starts with, and another is ends with. Okay, so let's look at here. Starting and ending of a string. Okay. So let's say we are learning Python. Let's keep it only one sentence, and I'll remove all these. So there's a function called starts with. Starts with function checks if or whether a string is starting with another substring or not. So how does the syntax work? So string dot starts with, let's say, a character or a substring. Okay, what's the meaning of this? So let's say we are learning Python. So if I check here, is my string s1 starts with W? Does it start with W? Yes, it does. So if it starts with W, we'll get a true as an output. See, we're checking if the string s1 starts with W or not. If the string s1 starts with W, E, V, again the answer is yes, right? Yes, true. What about VR, V space R? Yes, it is starting with VR as well, right? So you have to look at, Python looks at if it is there, these substrings are there at the start or not. Okay. Now, is it starting with R? Answer is no, false. It's not starting with R, it is VR. What if you write W small and E, V? Is it starting with V? No, it is not. Because Python is case sensitive, W is capital, here we are using lowercase w, we'll get a false as an answer. So if the substring is found at the start of the main string, starts with will give us true. If it's not found, we'll get a false. All right. Similarly, we have ends with. Same syntax, ends with. Okay. So let me remove this and we'll say ends with. Is our string s1 ending with Python? The answer is yes. If I run this code, we'll get a true. So ends with checks if a particular string is ending with a substring. Okay. So it's ending with Python. The answer is yes. Is it ending with n? The answer is again yes. True. is it ending with Python, right? I just missed n from here. What do you think? Will it work? Will it give a true or false? It will give a false because it has to end properly, right? It's not ended, right? We're not ending with Python. N is not there. So we have to look at the last character as well. So it has to be the full end of that particular string. Okay. So these were starting and ending of strings. If a particular substring is at the start of the string, starts with will give you a true. If not, you'll get a false. Similarly, ends with, if a particular substring or character is at the end of the string, ends with will give a true, otherwise it will give a false. We also learned how to change cases using uppercase, upper, lower, title, and capitalized functions in string, and how to count a particular character or substring inside a given string. So these were a few operations of string. That's all for this video. Thank you.